2, maybe 3 years, Tim, I'm going to start with you at Equinix. What are you going to be doing for the ecosystem 2 to 3 years from now? What's that crystal ball look like?
Well, yeah, it's I always tell people I'm a very bad predictor of the future. Don't ask me what the future looks like, but because it always seems to change before our eyes.
Sure.
But I will say let's talk about AI and maybe even quantum computing a little bit. So AI, I think, is here to stay. It's always been here, let's be honest. And for those who have, this much, and again, I'm an engineer, so I apologize if I say something out of or too technical, but a lot of the math and essence of AI has been around for a long time. And it will continue to be around for a long time. I think it's just more commercialized now. But one thing that we're experiencing within Equinix as various organizations, not just federal and state, local, and not just healthcare, but they're all kind of pivoting to AI, is that it needs more of everything. AI needs more data. AI needs more bandwidth. It needs lower latency. You've got to get more data to a point to process faster, to learn on and on and on. So that's the thing that I think just needs to be maybe take a pause, take a step back and say, well, hold on, before we just dive headfirst into this, let's really understand where we can see it fit within maybe clinical ERP, or maybe in improving the quality of care for the veterans who are admitted in the hospital, whatever it is, trying to shorten lengths of stay, right? Whatever those goals are. Clinical decision support. I love what Dr. Osborne talked about earlier, right? And all those technologies do need that underlying infrastructure and network to be able to support that. So I think just AI, just maybe think about it also in terms of, it hasn't been around that long. There isn't a ton of data. We do have a lot of data we're feeding it, but is it a lot of data? Really? I mean, humans have been here for 1 million years. We've been collecting data for 100 or so. Maybe 500, depending on your point of view. So really not enough time has gone by. So I would say just, again, maybe just treat it with caution and look at it very carefully. And then quantum computing, I think, is going to be probably even more advantageous 3 to 4 to 5 years down the road as the technology advances. And where I think it has a place in healthcare is in the creation of large data sets. So instead of being able to look at the history of VA records, say, Dr. Evans, where you're going back in time and saying, well, this is how we've been able to treat patients in, say, World War I or whenever it started. And we've been tracking that. Now imagine being able to use quantum computing to generate, instead of a couple of million veterans worth of health information, you can generate 1 billion or 1 trillion or 10 trillion, and then use regression analysis and then work backwards from that. So just the ability of quantum to be able to create so much data fixes the problem of AI right now, where we really don't have a lot of data. So I think those two technologies are kind of going to be used very, very interestingly within the health world.